My city is on fire and I'm very anxious and sad and angry, and I need some place to put it right now. So why not fundraise while yelling about trees? That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda. You're watching Swell Entertainment, and I live in Los Angeles. I've lived in Los Angeles since January of 2021, but I have lived in Southern California my whole life. I grew up in Tustin, Orange County, in the shadow of LA, and living here, this is my city. I'm not going to cry in this. Hermes and I did have to evacuate. We are very close to the Eaton fire. Thankfully, our apartment is okay, as you can see, and LA is not out of the woods yet. Currently, as I'm filming this, the Eaton fire is still at only 27% containment, which is better than the zero that it was for multiple days. And whole neighborhoods in Altadena are gone, and the Palisades fire is still burning. Thousands of people in Los Angeles County are displaced, and many have lost their homes and everything that they had. My city and county are hurting, but to see Angelenos come together and the incredible community, not just of SoCal, but just other states coming together, people across the country supporting people. It's really incredible to see. There will be a fundraiser connected to this video, and all AdSense will be donated to various GoFundMes for families that have lost everything. There will be a list of GoFundMes linked down below that is unfortunately updating regularly with more families that have lost everything. And if you would like, you can sort based on Black and Latino families specifically so that you can support them if you would like. Like I said, I have a lot of anger and sadness and fear, and I would like to stop crying, frankly, but I am choosing to take this video to fundraise and advocate, as well as yell about the eucalyptus trees in California. But really fast, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Ritual. Now, I have talked quite a bit about some of my sleep issues here on YouTube, but one thing I don't talk about all that often is how the excessive travel that I do affects my body in different ways. Today, we are talking about the Sleep Bio Series Melatonin and the Synbiotic Plus Probiotic, both from Ritual. Now, understandably, I have canceled all of my travel for the rest of this month, but between travel and stress, I find that it takes a toll on my body, and so it's important for me to take a probiotic. I've been taking Synbiotic Plus for almost 2 months now, and I have found that I get bloated way less frequently, and it has made a huge difference for me in my regularity. Synbiotic Plus is a 3-in-1 prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic that supports a balanced gut microbiome and digestive health. I usually don't go for melatonin all that often because growing up, it would give me the weirdest dreams. But I have not experienced that since taking the Sleep Bio series. I don't know if it's because they do a combination of instant and delayed release melatonin, but my personal experience has not been having any weird dreams while getting a good night's sleep. Now it is the new year, so Ritual has a New Year sale that is going on for the month of January with 30% off site-wide. So if you want to try out the Synbiotic Plus for yourself, you can get it now for $37.80 instead of the usual $54. Go to ritual.com/swellentertainment30 to get 30% off your entire order. Thank you again to Ritual for sponsoring this video. I've been in Southern California my whole life, and we have fire season. We also have earthquakes. We also have the Santa Ana winds. And I need to impart on you how unnormal it is for our fires to be happening at this time of year in January. Okay. We already don't get a lot of rain here, but we have gotten even less rain than we are normally supposed to get at this time of year. I think in total in the last 5 months, we got less than a full inch, is my understanding. And yes, the Santa Anas are something that we deal with, but even the Santa Anas that we got are not normal. Monday night, we got a warning. I got a warning sent to my phone saying that deadly winds and red flag conditions were going to be in place for the next couple of days. Last time I saw the winds get that bad was when I was at community college. And even then, the winds, when they say deadly winds, they do mean deadly winds. Part of what makes the winds deadly at this time of year is that usually we get some rain. And so what happens is the rain comes down and it loosens up the soil and loosens up the roots of trees, like a eucalyptus tree. And then when the winds come down, because negligence from various, companies and neighborhoods and the like, especially HOAs and things like that, these trees become very top heavy. When I was in school, there was a woman that was killed in her car down the street from where I lived because a tree fell on her during the winds. My friend's car was flattened by a eucalyptus tree that crushed her car and 3 other cars in her neighborhood complex where all the cars were parked. When they say deadly wind warning, they mean that. And then because we're just in the middle of a very dry winter, these things are just fire prone. At the time of me recording this, I believe that some of the fires have been determined to have causes and others have not been determined yet. I'm not going to sit here and spread conspiracy theories. What I know is that the city is burning and we have quite a bit of palm trees and eucalyptus trees in various areas that are burning. If I'm being vague about telling you where I live, that's on fucking purpose. Some of you are insane, okay? I am near the Eaton fire, and that is all I'm going to tell you. We have quite a few eucalyptus trees over by me.
Fuck-ass tree.
Eucalyptus trees go up very quickly, and they have a sap that is fairly flammable. I want to yell about the eucalyptus trees because they're not supposed to fucking be here. And I want to make it abundantly clear because I know I have quite a lot of Australians in my audience. Hi, I am not criticizing the eucalyptus trees for your country and continent. They are supposed to be there. They are not supposed to be here in California. And that is why I'm complaining about them as they stand in California. Okay. This is from The Independent in 2011 by Tasha Rowland. How the eucalyptus tree came to California, a cautionary tale. Actually, side note, pause. I want to yell about price gouging for a second first. If you are a landlord in Los Angeles County or surrounding areas and you are raising your prices by more than the yearly allotted 10%, I hope you get hit by a bus, okay? You are a horrible goddamn person, especially if you have a short-term rental and you're trying to make money off of people that are desperate. Side note, any of my audience that is seeing this, if you are able to find price gouging and prove it, you can report it. There are various ways you can report it. I will link something down below so that you can report any price gouging that you see in LA County, taking advantage of desperate people who are trying to find some sense of normalcy or a place to live while they are trying to rebuild their homes or sort out their options. I think you're a horrible fucking person if you're price gouging. Okay. William, leave all of that in, including me saying they should be hit by a bus. Tasha Rowland wrote this article in 2011, okay? The eucalyptus goes to California. Following its spread throughout Europe, Northern Africa, India, and South America, settlers in California became increasingly interested in the eucalyptus. Not only was eucalyptus a fascinating novelty, but the California gold rush in the late 1840s and early 1950s created high demand for wood for constructing buildings and for fuel. Deforestation had become a serious concern, so much so that the California Tree Culture Act of 1868 was created to encourage people to plant more trees, particularly along roads. Many entrepreneurs rushed to capitalize on this situation. Starting in the 1870s, the first large-scale commercial planting of the blue gum eucalyptus began. The blue gum, a mid-sized eucalyptus reaching around 150 to over 200 feet tall, is the most common eucalyptus in California. These trees are easily recognized by their waxy blue leaves and grayish bark, which reveals a smooth, contrasting yellowish surface when the bark sheds off in long strips. But investors were soon to discover that the eucalyptus weren't all they'd hoped them to be. Sadly, most of these schemes went the way they infamously did for Frank C. Havens. Havens was an Oakland developer who opened a mill and planted 8 million eucalyptus trees in a 14-mile-long strip from Berkeley through Oakland. But when he came to sell the timber, it was found that the trees were too young to make suitable wood. The young wood had an irregular grain and it bent, cracked, and shrank when dried. It is true that eucalyptus trees from Australia could make good timber, but those trees were decades or sometimes centuries old. It was soon found that eucalyptus trees would need to be at least 75 or 100 years old for good good lumber. The young wood didn't even make usable fence posts or railroad track ties, both of which decayed rapidly. Havens closed shop. Other options for selling California-based eucalyptus products were grim. In the early 1920s, it was realized that California eucalyptus oil wasn't nearly the same quality as foreign-made oil, again, mainly from Australia. The wood became increasingly sold just for fuel, but cheap electricity and gas soon replaced it. By 1950, eucalyptus trees were primarily grown in California as ornamentals or windbreakers. The trees had failed to live up to their premature claims and hopes. My understanding for a lot of eucalyptus along roads as well, windbreakers, but also to prevent, the roads from moving and cracking because the roots help stabilize the roads. That is, I believe, mainly, I've heard that quite a bit on, I believe, Catalina Island. Their roads a lot. They have quite a bit of trees up there that I believe are eucalyptus, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head. I could be wrong about that. I could be misremembering. But I was told that they were planted that way to help keep the roads stable as they were on the island. They've also had a fire issue years ago. Bark strips dropped by the blue gums are extremely flammable, which can lead to intense fires, such as the Oakland firestorm of 1991. This is through Wikipedia. The Oakland firestorm of 1991 was a large suburban wildland-urban interface conflagration that occurred on the hillsides of northern Oakland, California, and southeastern Berkeley over the weekend of October 19th through 20th. And again, October. The fire I evacuated from in 2020, we haven't talked about that yet. That was also burning a lot because of eucalyptus, was also in October. The fire that came to 3 of the 4 walls of my community college, okay, about a year prior, okay? I believe that, no, 2 years prior, 2018. Also, October. That's our fire season, around October, okay? The January, not fire season. That is why people are freaking out and raising the alarm, not just because of the actual devastation that has been going on, but this is not normal for this time of year for us at all. Like the devastation already bad. Any of this is not normal, but the time of year is where people are freaking out and climate activists are freaking out. The official name of this incident by CAL FIRE is the Tunnel Fire. It is also commonly referred to as the Oakland Hills Firestorm or the East Bay Hills Fire. The fire ultimately killed 25 people and injured 150 others. Also on this, I searched eucalyptus on this page on Wikipedia as well to see if there's any other mentions of it. In 2015, a $4 million federal grant to prevent fires in the Oakland Hills ignited debate over whether to cut down trees in the region. The city and its fire departments say clearing young eucalyptus trees and other non-native plants would deter another deadly firestorm like the one that whipped through the hills in 1991. This is from firesafemarin.org. Eucalyptus globulus, blue gum eucalyptus, is a tree that is not native to California. It is an invasive plant that is introduced from Australia and naturalized in the wild. The California Invasive Plant Council classifies the most common blue gum eucalyptus as a moderate invasive because the trees need certain conditions to thrive. All eucalyptus species are prone to fire and should be removed or require significant maintenance within 100 feet of structures to reduce wildfire hazards. Side note, if you want to not use AI ever, when you do a Google search, put -AI. It's literally so simple. 2020, this is now from CAL FIRE, because I wanted to bring up the fire that I went through, that I evacuated from in 2020 when I was living in Irvine. We were nearby it. We were not in the evacuation zone, but it was not good. 10/26/2020, I sent this to my acting teacher. We were doing classes over Zoom at the time because of lockdown. I may have to miss or leave Zoom class early today because I'm really close to the big fire that broke out in Santiago Canyon. As of right now, I am a block away from the evacuation zone, so I'm hoping I don't have to evacuate, but I wanted to be proactive and let you know just in case. This is from October 26th, 2020. The Silverado fire was a wildfire that burned in October and November of 2020 in southern Orange County, California, northeast of Irvine. I was living in Irvine at the time. The fire started on October 26th around 6:47 a.m. near Orange County Route S South 18, fueled by strong Santa Ana winds gusting up to 80 miles per hour and low humidity. We currently have low humidity in January. Even if it wasn't Altadena, even if it wasn't a place that had historic Black neighborhoods that allowed for one of the essential first middle-class Black neighborhoods to grow, that is being burned right now in the Eaton fire. If it was just the Palisades, I really don't want to hear your fuck-ass comments about LA. I really don't want to hear it. I really don't. No one does. Go touch grass, because you can, you know? Log off. We don't need to hear your thoughts on literally every little thing. 100% containment was announced on my birthday that year. Yay. 2018, the fire. Let me see if I can find the evidence of me having to evacuate in 2018. This is from 2019, October. SCC Campus Safety is monitoring a small brush fire in the area of campus. The fire is 5 to 7 acres and is currently maintained. Campus remains open. That's the other thing. Campus remains open, okay? Brave alert. I went to Santiago Canyon College for a couple years, okay? 2 associate's degrees, unrelated, just making a point. I have lived in Southern California my whole life. There has been fires throughout my whole life. I never once had school canceled because of a fire. Not one time. I even checked with my dad to make sure that I was right for me or my brother. He was like, yeah, no. Specifically when my brother was in school, there were definitely a couple of times where he probably should not have been on campus, especially with where our elementary school was and such, after I had gone on to middle school and the like. The most that we would ever get canceled is that they wouldn't make us run the mile. And now still, as the fires are still burning, the Pasadena school system is closed still. They did close quite a few of the schools. Now fucking schools are burned too. There's at least 2 schools, I believe, that are burned in the Eaton fire. I believe there's schools burned in the Palisades fire as well, churches, community centers, restaurants, local businesses, small museums, gone in fucking January. And again, it's hard not to yell climate change. It's hard not. It's because you can't not yell it because that's what it is. Like, this is not normal. This is bad. Fuck AI. Okay. Like oh God. Anyways, I hate these fuck ass trees. I hate, what was the one that I found? Hold on. All eucalyptus species are prone to fire. The nature of the bark and oils make them highly flammable. Eucalyptus trees are also fire adapted. Fire causes the trees to release a massive drop of seeds. However, they can be and often are maintained in a state that makes them relatively fire resistant. Often. The one that crushed my friend's car had not been trimmed in several years because it was on a private strip that the HOA was not maintaining. Her and her mother rent a house. The ones around my dad's old complex where he rented in Irvine also were not maintained regularly and then were cut down a lot. And people complained, yes, because they made the apartments hotter. They made the condos hotter because they weren't blocking the sun. But you know what? I wasn't worried about them busting through my window anymore. That was nice. You know, like, I just hate these fucking trees. I hate them. And, you know, as someone who's also lived by them, like when they're not well maintained, when they're just grown really close together, or they're not like chopped down when they do grow too close together, they don't smell good. They don't, like, sometimes I like the eucalyptus tree smell, okay? But when they're grown like that, it smells like rotting, like BS. Like I can't even put my finger, it just doesn't smell good. It smells like mildew. It does not smell right. Angry, mad, angry. Anyways, I could keep yelling, but I would rather just tell you to please go and donate if you are able to. If you have items that you would like to donate, there are quite a few orgs that are taking actual physical donations, especially if you are able to donate toiletries, supply water, support any restaurants that are feeding volunteers and people that have been displaced. Please do. If even just watching this video, you are supporting the relief. I will post the proof of me donating to various GoFundMes with the money raised from this video. And if you also would like to hate eucalyptus trees with me, feel free to hate eucalyptus trees on your own. I just wanted to yell about these trees because they're not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be here. I'm going to end this now because I need to go mask up and go for a walk because the air quality, there's still stuff in the air because a lot of these homes that burned were historical homes, which means they probably have asbestos and lead paint. And that's just now in the air. And even then, burning things burning, going into the air is not good. So if you have a pet, Hermes has a mask. He's downstairs. I can see him from here. He wears a mask when we go for walks right now so that he's not, because even if the air quality says it's better, I don't want him inhaling the ash that's on the ground. Please donate if you can to any of the GoFundMes that are be listed in the links down below. Just donate to the GoFundMe itself, the donation itself. I will, again, be donating all of the ad revenue from this video. Thank you for watching. Reminder, I stream on Twitch. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder, use code SWELL for 10% off on Gamer Subs. Out to my channel members, if you'd also like to join me on channel memberships, you can go ahead and click join down below. If you'd like to follow me on all of social media, it'll be all up here. I think TikTok might be banned by the time this comes out, but who knows? That's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Okay, bye. I also want to again reiterate that if you are a landlord and you are price gouging, you're an awful goddamn person. Awful.